and welcome to another edition of Rock Solid Online. My name is Charlie, I'm the Families Pastor at St. Peter's, Battersea, and this is my cat Zena. Now Zena depends on me and the family to feed her and look after her. Well, you know, God is a great big God, and we are way more precious to Him than Zena is even to us. And you know, He holds us in His hands. Zena doesn't like me holding her very much. She can be a bit crabby, but God is never crabby, and He loves to hold us in His hands. Let's praise Him.
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He is higher than a skyscraper, and He's deeper than a submarine. He is wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He is higher than a skyscraper and deeper than a submarine. He is wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. 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 And He holds us in His hands.
Yay! Now in the last Rock Solid session, we talked about faith. There was the story of the Roman centurion who asked Jesus to heal his servant without having to go and see him. And Jesus said the man had great faith. Now this week we're going to talk about trust. What is trust?
When you trust someone, you know that they care for you.
Is when you believe what somebody's saying. Like my mum tells me that she's gonna buy a toy, and I know she will. She will because I trust my mum.
Trusting someone is knowing that they are there for you. Daisy, do you trust me? Yes. Ready? Yeah.
Conference this afternoon. So absolutely, it's really few days, but that
Four.
has stabilised since then. And in the latest round,
Who's that? Start. Fall.
Sports, we saw exactly why. Because
Samuel, go.
being within 2 years of
Thank you so much, children. Now kids, don't try that at home without adult supervision because it could be dangerous, okay? Now trust in God is putting our faith into action. It's believing that God is always in a good mood. And when we ask him for help, he will answer. We can trust that he is answering, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. Now Pino is going to read to us a story about trusting in the words of Jesus. It's called The 1 O'Clock Miracle, and it's by Alison Mitchell, and it's published by the Good Book Company, and it's based on a story in the Bible from John 4, verse 46 to 54.
Long, long ago, there lived an important man who worked for the king. He was sad and so worried. His son was ill, so ill he was going to die, and no one could help him. He heard that a man named Jesus was doing the most amazing, wonderful things. He heard that Jesus was making ill people well again. He heard that Jesus was doing things only God can do. So the man decided to ask Jesus for help. The man and his son lived in Capernaum by the sea, but Jesus was staying in Canaan, more than 20 miles away. It was a very long walk, uphill all the way, but the man decided that he must see Jesus. So he said goodbye to his son and his family, and he set off to see Jesus. Uphill he walked and sometimes ran because he wanted so badly to see Jesus. The sun went down, the night was dark, the stars were bright, but the man did not stop. Huffing and puffing, he walked, sometimes ran, hurried to see Jesus. The sun came up, the morning arrived, but there was still a long way to go. Puffing and panting, the man wailed and walked and sometimes ran because he needed to see Jesus. At last, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the man reached Canaan, the town where Jesus was. He had walked and sometimes ran, and now at last he could see Jesus. "Please, sir," he said, "my son is dying. Please come with me. Please make him better." The man knew that if Jesus came with him and touched his son, the boy would be well again. But Jesus said, "Go." What? Go home without Jesus? After all the walking and even running to get Jesus to come? But Jesus hadn't finished. "Go," Jesus said, and then he added, "Your son will live." The man believed him. Jesus wasn't going to come to the man's house. He wasn't going to touch the boy to make him well. But the man still trusted that what Jesus said was true. Down the hill, he walked and sometimes ran because he believed Jesus. The sun went down, the night was dark, and the moon shone brightly. The man felt so tired, but on and on he walked and sometimes ran because he trusted Jesus. The sun came up, a new morning arrived, and still he walked. Though his back ached, his legs were very tired. On he walked and sometimes ran because he was sure Jesus would make his son well. Then far away in the distance, he saw some men. They came closer and closer. They were his own servants. They must have news, he thought. But what will it be? "Sir," they said, "it's your son. He is alive. He is well again." The man was bursting for joy. "When?" the man asked. "When did he get better?" "Yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon." "1 o'clock? 1 o'clock, the man replied. Then he remembered. It was 1 o'clock when he saw Jesus. It was 1 o'clock when Jesus said his son would live. And it was 1 o'clock when his son got better. Jesus didn't need to go and see the boy. He didn't need to walk and walk. He didn't have to run. Jesus simply spoke. And just like that, the boy was better. Wow. Jesus could do that. And do you know why? Because Jesus is God's son. Happy and smiling, the man walked home, and sometimes he ran to see his son again. Then he told his son and his family about Jesus and how Jesus could do things only God can do. And they all believed in Jesus, God's son too. And now that the man's son was well, what could he do? He could smile, he could laugh, he could walk, and he could run. And all because of Jesus.
Thank you, Pino. In the story, the father asked Jesus to heal his son, and he had to trust Jesus when he said his son had been healed, because he wasn't there and they didn't have mobile phones in those days. He had to trust the word of Jesus. Jesus did not let him down. Sometimes we have to choose to trust Jesus even when we don't understand what is going on. There's a verse about this in the Bible. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And that's Proverbs 3 verse 5. Can you do that at home?
Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3 verse 5.
Asking God for what you need is a completely natural thing to do. Remember my cat Xena? This is what she does when she wants me to feed her. So if a cat knows how to ask me for food, how much more can we ask God to give us what we need? Let's hear some prayers now, and if you agree at home, you can say Amen.
God our Father, please help us to not be stereotyping or racism, even though you're black or white on anything. It doesn't matter what culture you are. It matters if you have faith and love in your hearts. Everything means a lot to everyone. You need to have love, faith and other things that make people be kind. Even though you're white or black, it doesn't really matter, or whatever country or religion. It doesn't really matter. All it means is you have love and you have a heart. Amen.
Thank you, God, for protecting us, and please help us, and please help protect us. And while Sunday is Father's Day, today we are praying for fathers, so it can be very happy. Please protect the fathers and everybody. Even someone's father. Please protect us from coronavirus in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, God, for protecting us today. Thank you for keeping us safe, and thank you for helping us with everything. Please protect the fathers and give them everything they need. Thank you for Father's Day coming today. Thank you for Father's Day, and please help all the fathers with knowledge, and thank you for God the Father of all the fathers. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, God. Please protect us today. Make sure we don't have bad disease. And make sure our fathers don't get bad things, the most bad things, because it's their day, Father's Day. In Jesus' name, God, amen.
Amen. Amen. And finally, we've got an activity for you to try at home. It's all about trust. You will need 2 people and a blindfold and some objects to make an obstacle course.
Use your objects to make an obstacle course to lead your friend through. This is a lesson in trust. First of all, blindfold your friend. Daisy, do you trust me? No. This is a lesson in trust. Maybe do you trust me? Yes, Daisy, I do. I'm going to lead Libby, who is blindfolded, backwards through our obstacle course. Daisy, do you trust me now? Yes.
Thank you, Libby and Daisy, and thank you everyone for watching and for sending in your videos. Have a good week. Bye.